Hey everyone, bringing you a magic profile. Going over my Monowhite devotion. Even though I don't like calling it that, it's just a really aggro white build. But let's just go through it real quickly. Four Soldier of the Pantheon. Basically always your opener. He's a 2/1 for 1. Protection from multicolor. You gain life every time your opponent plays a multicolored spell. Really good. Four Boris Elite. Battalion is amazing. It's another 1-drop. It's 1/1. Whenever it attacks with 2 other creatures, it gets +2/+2. Daring Skyjack, who pretty much like always wins games. He's a 3/1 2-drop. His battalions, whenever he attacks with 2 other creatures, he gets flying. So with additional pumps that are that get with the anthem effects of certain cards, he's a really good card. 1, 2, 3, 4 Precinct Captains. He's here. He's a 2-drop 2/2. He uses 2 white, so he increases devotion by 2. He has first strike. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, he creates a 1/1 soldier token, creating more creatures to deal with. Frontline medic, who helps win games. He has a battalion effect. Whenever he attacks with 2 other creatures, all my creatures are indestructible. So with Daring Skyjack, you can see how shenanigans get crazy. He also has a secondary effect where he counters a target spell with X in its mana cost unless my opponent can pay 3. So stuff like Sphinx's Revelations and whatever else is the new pop-in meta for Magic that uses X in it. Brave the Elements, wins games. You can go for 1 big attack and drop this card whenever something would go crazy. And that's pretty much the 4 ofs. Next you run 3 Banished Priest. Changes the tempo of the game where you have to sit down and really kind of slow down your opponent's creatures by banishing them. When he hits the battlefield, you exile target creature until he leaves the battlefield. I run 3 Dryad Militants. I find 4 is too cloggy, and I really don't use it for its effect. It's really here to increase devotion. Two Spirit Heliod's. This card will win you games. Its effect to Anthem your creatures is amazing. It gives +1/+1 to all creatures you control. The secondary effect also helps, where you tap 3 and you tap it and you destroy a creature that dealt damage to you. It really fucking helps. 2 Azorius Arresters. Once again, this is when you mess with your opponent and you shift games into being more control. He's a 2/1 2/2-drop, and he detains your opponent's creatures, which pretty much stops them from activating their abilities and attacking or blocking. 2 Imposing Sovereign. Once again, switches game to control. All my opponent's creatures come out tapped. Double Heliod. He's the boss monster of the deck. He's a creature as long as I have 5 to devotion. All my creatures have vigilance, and what he does is he puts out a cleric enchantment creature token. So if in my sideboard I switch to complete aggro and I run Ethereal Armor and other enchantments, and I pretty much kind of go off with big creatures. Round off the deck is double Johnny, Caller of the Pride. He's just amazing. His +1 is great, but it's really his -3 that helps finish games. If you can get his -8, good for you, but it's really his -3 that's going to win you those games with the double strike and the flying, especially on Heliod. And I run about 20 lands. So that's essentially the deck. Try it out if you like it. It's been pretty kind to me so far. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Sideboard pretty much includes basic white sideboard. But I like to do what I call whole deck switches. So you can change the sideboard. You can use triple Fiendslayer Paladin instead of Banisher. Switch into Ethereal Armors. Your 4th Dryad Militant, another Heliod, whatever have you, however you want to play white. I recommend Boris Reckoner. This build is just a little less aggro